This is your host, Carmen Radford, welcoming you back to another episode of the Calm and Chaos podcast, the space where we discuss everything from motherhood, relationships, and well-being to education, music, and so much more. Okay, here we go. Hello, and welcome back to another episode. Today I'm so excited. We have another mom on. This is Katie, and we're going to be talking about her journey with her son. And we've just had such a huge chat, and a lot of what she's saying just applies for all parents, really. So, Katie, thank you so much for being here, and welcome.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. Exciting.
So I went over your notes, as I said, and there's so many links that I will share at the end and so many resources that'll be super helpful. But we thought we would start at the very beginning. And you said in your notes that there were certain things you noticed maybe with your gut instinct and observations with your first child that prompted you to just investigate a little bit further.
Definitely.
So what was it like in the beginning? What were those intuitions and...
So, I noticed something was up with him. We'd just moved house. We'd had a new baby. COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot going on. And it was more of a gut instinct, really, that he was just different. It was mainly his language, the frustration. He was behind on his milestones, but I couldn't really explain it. But it was just more of a gut instinct, really. And again, it was COVID, so it was a really difficult time because you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
I was tired.
Yeah.
And my hormones were everywhere from having a baby.
This your second baby had come in, yeah.
Yeah.
And so how old was your son at this time?
So my son was 2.
Yeah.
So again, it was big. Everything was big.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed something was different with him.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out to community nursery nurse.
Okay.
They came to see him. And then I just looked into it a little bit more. And then I decided that, right, I think we need to have an assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, what they did was they suggested for speech and language therapy. It didn't go very well.
Okay.
That was very, very emotional as well. Jay would get it wasn't him, if you see what I mean. It was very, very emotional. He wouldn't hurt anybody else, but again, communication, as we all know, if we can't communicate something, how annoying and frustrating it is.
Yeah, you look for body language, and it's just so frustrating.
And he's mirroring you as well as mirroring me.
Right.
So I'd get frustrated, then he'd get frustrated. And
yeah.
So anyway, so we went and did the speech and language therapy, and we did go through the NHS, but there was a long wait.
So hard.
We went privately.
Mm-hmm.
I look back now, worst situation for him to be in a small room, someone blowing bubbles at him and then taking that bubble machine away.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
that was kind of your first step into this.
Yeah.
And how were you to know that was going to be a adverse situation, right?
It was not fun.
No.
And I always thought to myself as well, with him, with his speech and language, I think we automatically think, oh, we're going to go to these sessions and he's going to be fixed. But these things just take time.
Yeah.
Absolute time.
Yeah.
And they gave us now and next boards and things like that. I mean, you always look back on situations, don't you? And I think I probably could have dealt with things a bit differently. You look back on things, don't you, sometimes? Yeah. But actually, I did everything right. It was all his frustration.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you said that. And especially, of course, it's your first experience with that. And you had no prior experience. You had no other resources.
It was COVID as well.
And, that just is a next level of emotion and everything.
Definitely.
But I think it's really important for moms to hear you say, I did everything right.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the outcome was great. No. It doesn't mean the experience was great.
No.
but you're still
Yeah.
you're putting your heart and soul into
Yeah.
this, right?
And the whole potty training.
Oh, it's hard.
I look back and I'd actually just laugh now. I remember he went through 18 pairs of pants in one day. That washing machine was on, and I should have just realised he's not ready. He's not ready, so just leave it. And I did. So we got help from the community nursery nurse, and then we got speech and language therapy. We had preschool. There was lots of tears had there.
Okay. Separation?
Just more
or frustration still?
Just me. Tears.
Oh, you tears.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Me too.
Just because after preschool they'd be like, "Can we have a word? Can we have a word?"
Okay.
And they have to tell you everything's going on. And he didn't do anything wrong. He just had no spatial awareness. So he would be, someone would have a dinosaur, and he loved dinosaurs. So he'd probably wallop someone with a dinosaur, not meaning to wallop someone with a dinosaur because they were behind him. Right. So he loved, it's very sensory. Yeah. He'd be banging things all the time, and just have no spatial awareness really. Okay. So we got we got private assessment done. That was quite a long process. They wanted to see him in school, and they did say, well, he's still quite young. Let's put something in. Let's do speech and language therapy and things like that, and then we will look into it again. So they did.
Okay. After some time?
Yes, some time.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It can be quite a long time. It probably wasn't, it just felt like it. But I knew something was different with him. So anyway, we got this assessment, and you just think, okay, what next? And I remember saying to the doctor, right, what am I dealing with here? Are we dealing with high functioning, low functioning? And he said to me, we've got rid of that now. I thought, right. So what am I dealing with? And he was just there to do the assessment. He hasn't got a magic ball, has he, to tell me what his future's going to be like. Yeah. So I remember I was very upset because I just didn't know what I was dealing with.
Because if you know, you'll get some tools. So, it's emotional. Yeah.
Oh, it's really emotional, but we got there. So we got the assessment, and school were fantastic. We got his EHCP, but also to let everyone know, actually, you don't need to have an assessment to get an EHCP.
Okay, thank you for saying this. So the EHCP is the Education, Health, and Care Plan that children can get even without an assessment.
Yes.
And this just puts a plan together.
Yeah, exactly, on how to support your child, and funding for the school as well.
Amazing. Yeah.
So this is what I mean, though, getting an assessment. Yes, it does give you. It was more for us as a family to know. Okay, he has got autism, but actually, that was for us to get that assessment. Really, yes, it does open some doors having an assessment. Yes.
Okay.
But again, when I got that assessment, there wasn't much. It was more of a, yes, he's got autism. Okay, what next? What next? So that's what I felt afterwards. Like, where do I go? I didn't really feel I had much from the doctor after that. But he's done his job. He's given you the assessment. This is your child's got autism. So after that, so we got his EHCP, but again, that was in the process anyway, I think. So then he got his EHCP sorted when he started school, and that was it really, with that. But yeah, there was challenging times with him, especially when he was younger, and it was all to do with communication. And he's fine. He's the most loving child ever.
Yeah,
he loves
he's
a cuddle.
so sweet. Yeah,
he's great. He just finds certain situations possibly a bit more difficult.
So this is for a parent maybe starting this journey. What are the things maybe? What's the communication like between you, the school, and sort of everyone in his support network? And what can you ask for?
So basically, in school, I'd say it's just incredibly important communication.
Consistent.
Literally, and I'd actually say to people, have that regular communication. You know, don't let it be 3-4 months from when you haven't spoken to the teacher. I mean, I have a little I asked if I could have a little communication book.
That's amazing.
Good
idea.
I mean, it's small. It's so small, but it has a massive impact on us as a family, because again, like all children, you ask your child, "What have you done today?" I don't know.
Oh my gosh, they say
nothing.
nothing. Literally can't remember.
I did nothing. Well, you must have done something.
My son goes, "Well, I'm here now. I can't remember what school was like." Okay.
And it is a big question, isn't it? Because where do you begin? Where do they start? You know.
Well, and they're living so in the moment too. And I've been talking to my son about writing memories, because he'll say, like, "Why don't I remember when I was a baby?" And I said, "Well, you know, you're not always going to write memories right now, but if you want to, you can start maybe telling yourself, I really hope I remember this," or something.
Yeah.
But, and this is all part of communication though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so important.
And I must say, as a teacher, I really love when a parent wants to be involved, when they know their kid really well.
Definitely.
When they do have that communication stream with you, because that helps you so much in the classroom, and it just makes it smoother for everyone.
Without doubt. And just the little things, like say, you know, they did maths today. I can say, "Jay, you did you did maths today. You did this today."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh yeah," and then we did this. Oh, fantastic. And also, what I've noticed as well is I actually don't tend to ask about his day, as I do, but I will tell him about my day.
Oh, that's really good.
So I say, so when I dropped you guys off, I walked home, I had a cup of tea, I put my laptop on, and then he starts telling me about parts of his day.
That's amazing tip for parents.
For communication, especially with children that have difficulty in communication, how can they start off that conversation if they don't know how to?
Yeah, they've got no foundation for telling you about their day.
And this is what they mirror you.
Yeah.
So again, I realised when I was getting quite frustrated.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's always the way. You don't mean to react, do you? So I now know, in any situation, when he starts getting a bit het up, I kind of dramatise how I'm breathing, things like that.
Yeah, me too.
And I just try and talk softly, talk it through with him. It's just the little things.
And like recognizing when emotions are high, you're probably not going to get very far.
And also when he was angry, I'd say to him, "You're angry. You're angry." And now he really likes to tell me,
"I'm angry.
I'm angry." Well, yeah, you are. Yeah.
But great, and like just like, because that's another communication piece. How are you feeling? Oh, okay, what you're feeling is a human emotion. Here's what we call it.
Yeah.
Here's the word for it.
Yeah.
And in a podcast I listened to recently, she was discussing with her guests a lot of the different therapies and like what's helping with emotional regulation as an adult.
Yes.
When we're still learning, and that's another piece, isn't it? To be like, "Mommy's still learning. Mommy still gets, feels this way and that."
Yeah.
But she said in this podcast, her therapist was like, "Anger is with me. It's not me.
Yeah.
Anger's with me, or my emotion, my sadness is with me." And so that you can learn to sit in it, understand what that feels like for you, and then start figuring out what are the tools that really work for me when I know I'm in this state of emotion.
Definitely.
Instead of like, this is how I feel right now and I'm always going to feel this way. That's really scary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Communication is just so important. And routine
as
well. Routine is so important, because when you haven't got a routine, they are completely at a loss. They don't understand. Again, it regulates them. However, you can't off, sometimes routine sometimes does go out the window because you can't predict
Yeah.
things. Like, for instance, sometimes we walk to school and sometimes we can't walk to school because I've got to
Mm-hmm.
go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that can dysregulate
Okay.
him, and he's getting a lot better. He just comes a bit out of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean. Routine's really, really important, but sometimes we can't help certain things that can't go to routine.
Yes. And so is that a discussion then?
Yes.
This,
So I try
I
and say
try.
to him. So yes. So
Yeah.
I try and say to him, okay, we're not walking to school today. Mummy's got to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Keep things really, really simple. I've learned with my son that
Mm-hmm.
you've got to keep things very, very, very simple, straight to the point, and don't go on about things too much.
Okay.
And I'm a bit like that, really, straight to the point. No very business, just straight to the point.
Faff.
Don't faff. Don't beat around the bush. Just say how it is. So he's aware, really, but routine is definitely important. Just to have. That's why school's so important, isn't it? And they know what's coming, don't they? It's like we talk about food as well, lunch. What am I having for lunch today when I'm at school? Oh, let's have a look at it, shall we? Let's go and have a look at it. I've got it up in the cupboard.
Yeah. What's the menu today?
What's the menu today?
I do that with my son too.
Yeah,
He's such a picky eater, and it causes stress.
But if you think about it, if you don't have routine, people don't really like change, do some people?
We're habitual creatures.
Yes, and some people can just do it. They change. It's
Yeah,
fine.
fine.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to remember how they are. You've got to think about a feeling that you say. It could be anything. What they're feeling, yes, to you, it's like, oh, for goodness sake, okay, it's not the right bowl or not the right spoon, or but to them that's
big,
massive. And you've got to, I think, as well, just empathising as well. But there's been lots of little things with him, let's say having his coat on. I just want to put the
restriction of it.
Yeah, I just want to put a big sign up saying, yes, this is my child. Yes, I'm fully aware.
Yeah,
he's
not
coat
cold.
On.
He's not cold.
I am aware. I am aware. He's hot-blooded.
Yeah.
But I just think as well, you learn, don't you, to choose your battles.
Yes.
You have to choose your battles. I remember I used to battle putting that coat on.
Mm-hmm.
But I've come to the conclusion that actually you've just got to go with it. And actually, he used to just wear this. I've kept it. This little fleece. He used. I wish I'd bought two. Actually, wasn't even. I didn't buy it. It was someone else that bought it for us. And now I wish that we'd bought like 3 of them, because he lived in it. He would not put his coat on. And I think sometimes you think, why? But you've got to think, okay, right, how uncomfortable that. If you think of something that makes you feel incredibly uncomfortable, there might be a bit of fabric that you don't like, that you find that makes you itch. Imagine that being on you, or imagine that being on you. So you've just got to turn it round and be like, actually, I don't like this certain thing on me, but I'm making him put it on. I'm making something that he does not like, that actually might restrict him and hurt him. So I just think sometimes you've got to choose your battles, without a doubt, and just make peace of it. Life is hard as it is, so why make life difficult for you? I'm not saying there's certain things that you can't, that you think, no, we're not doing this. You're going to hurt yourself, this is hurting me. But there's certain things you just got to, do you know what, fine. Actually, because if we have this argument, this is going to affect you for the rest of the day.
The level of stress that it causes
and how
isn't
I'm
worth
going to be. Because if you're calm, they will hopefully be calm. Not saying that's going to work all the time. But even I've noticed with certain things, like when something's just gone really well, I don't know, just getting in the car. There's certain things I look back now, and even my mum reminded me the other day. She went, "Wow, God, Katie, you wouldn't have been able to have done that 2 years ago." I'm like, no, you're right, I forget. Goodness me. Just getting in the car, getting them out of the house. Wow, that didn't take 45 minutes. I wasn't arguing at him about the coat. But I think just warnings as well. I remember, again, I think that's another thing I think a lot of children find hard is transitioning to another
Transitions are massive.
Massive. I guess leaving the house, going to go and do something else, or just anything. It's hard. So, giving them warnings. So for instance, I might say if my son's on his tablet and I want him to turn it off, what I've learnt is, right, Jay, I'm going into the other room now. When I come back, we need to turn that off.
Yeah.
Okay? You do it. So then he's also in control of it. And he does it.
Yeah. And it's not so abrupt, because if you think about it, if like you're watching TV or something, if someone just comes and turns it off, like, excuse me, I was in the middle of this.
Just got into that.
Yeah.
Or you're listening to a lovely song and someone just turns it off. Well, if you think about it, if you're watching something and then the signal goes, how annoyed do you feel?
Right.
How annoyed do you feel?
And just that little act of, I'm letting you know in 5 minutes.
This is going to go. This is going to go. Then you're prepared.
Yeah.
Then you're prepared, aren't you? So that's what a lot of the time I do. A lot of things. But then trying to get change is often difficult because. So again, routine, I forget sometimes. But one of them might have finished their breakfast first. So if they've finished their breakfast first, they need to go and get changed.
The next thing.
However, that doesn't all. They might. So he might have finished first. I'm like, all right. Come on, I need to go and get. No, they need to go first. They need to go first. I'm like, fair enough, because actually that is what usually what happens. But so that sometimes I have to be like, well, no, you need to. They're still eating. Your sister's still eating her breakfast. I need you to get changed now. And eventually he does get over it, but it can be a bit.
So how are you navigating that emotionally to see? Okay, this is something.
I know, I prepare myself. I know it's probably going to be a battle.
Okay.
So I keep calm, and we just talk about it. And I'm very lucky with him that he's a really good boy. He does do it. He does do it.
Yeah.
But we've got. I mean, he used to have problems with his socks, which I understand that he used to find the
bit of thread on top. Yeah.
So I had to go and get socks.
Okay.
As a coat used to be a problem, but again, he changes. So he's all right with socks now. He finds it really hard doing his buttons up on his shirt. So I've learnt now, right, because it's quite overwhelming. If you
it's a lot of buttons
here
for the school kids.
There's a lot of buttons. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
If I'm set right, you're going to do all those buttons up. Like, whoa, but
why not a polo shirt that has
I know.
two?
Oh, he's fine. In summer, he is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
He's absolutely fine in summer because it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's only 2 buttons.
Yeah.
It's not overwhelming, is it?
Yeah.
So we've compromised. What I do is before he gets into his shirt, I do the buttons up. Do like 4 of the buttons up, and then we put it over his head.
Yeah. And
then I say, you're going to try and do those buttons. It was torture at the beginning, but it's working now. And he does.
Wonderful.
So it's just all time. What doesn't work first time round, what I'd say is, and it's true, you think, oh, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? But there's certain things you do just have to keep going with. But that's hard, I get it. And because you think to yourself, when do I say enough is enough? When do I think, no, this is just not
worth
this is just not working. But I think and your child knows. I think sometimes when to call it quits. But sometimes I think it's hard, and I think also it's again with certain things, meal times. When it's just you, it's fine. But I think another problem people find hard is when you've got other people there, because then you're very aware of what the other person is thinking. Especially if it's a parent, your parent, or and they may not even have a problem with it. They might go, oh, go along, you do what you've got to do. But in your head, you're like, well, someone's here.
Right.
We've got to perform.
That's an added level for you. And everyone feels that way, that like, oh, let's make it.
That parent,
they might not even mind.
They don't even care. Put on. But in your mind, this is what I mean. I've learned to, like, oh, geez, forget what other people think. I remember,
massively.
I talk a lot. I talk a lot to random people, and actually, when you start,
that's how we met.
You just talk, and it's amazing what you like. People just open up to you.
100%. This is why I started this,
Yes.
literally, because I was like, it's like the school gates.
Yeah.
You know, when you start having
Yeah.
the quick hello, and then it's like
the
next little bit, and then it starts snowballing, and yeah.
But I got talking to this woman. This is when I knew there was something up with
in the early days.
Yeah, and I got talking to this woman. We were at a farm. I don't know where we were, and she had an older boy, and I just sensed that okay, I think he might be on the spectrum, whatever. And he was whatever he was doing. And the first thing I said to her, actually, because I could see that she was probably a bit very aware of what was going on and what her child was doing, was like, actually, he's an older child, there's lots of younger children, he's being a bit boisterous. And actually, the first thing I said to her, like, he's got a lovely laugh, hasn't he? He's got a great laugh. Because I just wanted her to know I wasn't judging her, and I was looking at the positive, and I think that's so important. And that and you could just really tell that she just relaxed a bit.
Yeah.
And then we got talking, and then then she told me about him being on the spectrum and how she's just given up caring what other people think, and actually the most important thing is that he's okay.
Yeah.
And actually, life's hard anyway.
Yeah.
Just ignore. Does it really matter if that person's tutted at your child?
No.
I remember I was out. I think it was just after COVID. We went to a coffee shop. And Jay was doing absolutely nothing wrong. Okay, he was standing on a chair. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But he was not. He was far away from someone else.
Mhm.
And I had this man tut at me, and I was very vulnerable then.
Mhm.
And I was very aware, and I left because I was just so like, oh my god, my child's being judged. Oh my god, everyone thinks I'm a bad parent. Right, we're going. And I wish now I just turned it off. Wish I just thought. And actually, he might not have even been tutting at me, actually. Right. He probably wasn't. But
I love this. You're like, the vulnerability that we feel as mums
this is
why, so intense.
But it's so important to have someone to talk to.
Yeah. And
talk it through. It's so important.
Yeah.
To talk it through. And this is why I want to talk about this, because a parent, carers, whoever, they go through so much with children in general.
Yeah.
And when you're in this situation, our mental health is affected without a doubt. And it's so important to look after yourself as well, and to know you're doing everything right. You are. You're fighting for your child. Yeah. Your child loves you.
That's exactly
They don't see your flaws.
Yeah.
They don't. They just love you, and they want to please you.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we just have to turn things off. We just have to stop judging ourselves. Stop trying to perform like a monkey.
Yeah.
Stop looking at social media. Stop comparing your child. It doesn't matter. Like, I think sometimes it is hard sometimes. I mean, there's days when I go around, especially when we haven't been at school for ages. We're in our little bubble. I forget my son's autistic. I forget. And I'm in this lovely bubble. It's great. We're in our family.
Yep.
And it's great. And then you have a bad day.
Yeah.
And he comes clapping down. You're like, oh, sod you, autism. But then you have to think, oh no, that's my son. That's him. That is who he is. He wouldn't be him if he didn't have autism, would he?
I just love you so much. You just sing this so nicely.
It's very emotional, isn't it? It's very hard, but that's
such a beautiful way to put it, though. You're just you. Like, we are just who we are. Like, and if you can take a breath and just like have a bit of awareness, like that negativity does not matter.
No.
And like,
we
are here for a short time, and we need to like you say. It's so funny because when we started this, I was like, oh, we're going to talk about children and this process, but actually so much has to do with how we're doing. Like the parents' happiness, because that's going to so directly affect your children. And you do have to sit back and reflect on like, wow, look at the progress we made, or like laugh at like, oh, we're making no progress here, or whatever. Like, how to make, like, what, because you know your child the most and you care about them the most.
Yes.
You are who, like you say, you are the one fighting for them to have the best life.
Yeah.
And you know when it's okay to push, you know it's okay when it's okay to stop. You know this. But like when it boils down to it, like, have a good life.
Yeah.
And a good day.
Yeah.
And if it's a bad day, you go, well, that was a bad day.
Yeah,
we're gonna sleep. We're gonna have a good whatever, you know. But like,
but they are children, and that's what you've got.
Yeah.
That's what you got, and you love them. They love you.
Yeah.
And the most important thing
really
is that
love
they're happy.
you.
The
That's
most important
100%.
thing, and this is what I always say. Like, I have to, you know, when you, and it's hard because you do compare, and you shouldn't compare, but you do compare.
We're human. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I have to turn things off sometimes because, you know, someone might be going on about, well, they do this and great for your child.
Yeah.
And then you've just got to remember, okay, they can't do that, but they've done this, and look how far they've come.
Yeah.
As I've always said to people, I'm just glad that he can be in an environment, he can be with people, he is happy, he goes to school happy. Does he fight going to school? No, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because actually, that's one of the main things half the time with a lot of children. They can't get out that door.
Yeah.
They cannot get out that door because they've got so much anxiety, be it autism, whatever. They can't get out that door. And so I'm just glad I can get out that door and get him to school. And he's happy. He's
so
happy
wonderful.
to go.
And you can see when he comes out, he's happy. Because you can tell how your kids' days, when based on their like disposition, just walking right out of school, you can see, has this been like a bit of a rough day, or like you're obviously feeling this way, or like, oh, it's just been fine, like, great, okay.
Yeah.
So how does the routine look like? Because routine's so important. How is that something that's in writing? Is that something that you just navigate, or you navigate it? Okay.
I mean, I say we've got routine, but just the little things of routine, of saying we get up, we go and have our breakfast. And I do think if we did it a different way for certain things, it would throw him a little bit. But then sometimes, actually, he surprises me. I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad.
You were saying about the movie theater. You had a little bit of a reservation.
Oh God, yes, I couldn't. My husband's so brave. I've never taken them to the cinema, and because I'm a wuss. Not a wuss. I'm just a bit
you can just. You're thinking about everything.
Thinking like, oh God, it's expensive.
Yeah, that too. Oh my gosh.
Oh, if I'm on my own with the kids at a cinema and it all goes pee-tong, one of them wants to stay, one of them doesn't want to stay. Oh.
Yeah, and I've spent this money, and we could have done this, and
But my husband did it, and he went, they loved it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
So cute.
But this is what I mean. There's certain things you just think, oh no, never gonna do that, But sometimes you have to push yourself for certain situations. I think sometimes you have to push yourself, and them to a certain degree, you push them. I mean, he says to me, this is what he says to me, Mummy, I don't like movies. And then put him in the cinema, absolutely fine. Like, just so you know, you like movies. This is a movie. I'm like, oh. Okay, Mummy. I'm like, oh
gosh.
But he's afraid. That's, you know, and that's what I know. It sounds really, really small, but little things like that was massive.
Yes.
He went to the cinema. I was amazed.
Wonderful.
You know. So just like little things are massive, and I just think. I remember once, I don't think they realised how helpful and how amazing it was. I had someone say to me, wow, your son, you should be so proud of him. He's come so far. I'm like, thank you for saying that. And I don't think they realise how helpful it was.
But you liked to hear that.
And I also find sometimes, and I have to, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but when I meet someone new, I feel I have to tell them he's autistic.
Okay.
And I need to think about that, because do they really need, am I just excusing him for something if he does something? And again, that's me. That's not on him.
No.
And then also, am I then making him feel bad about something? You know, like, am I preempting something? I don't know, but I that's something I need to address myself. There's a lot of these things. Sometimes it's not the kid, it's you.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you need to work on So I need to work on some things, and I'm fully aware of that.
Mhm.
But I think also, it's good to talk about these things, and also you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
So they might be able to be like, oh, okay, he's doing that because of that. Like, I don't know. My son stims quite a bit,
Mhm.
and I could have throttled myself afterwards. Not a cinema, went to the theatre again. That was a bit of a, oh God, how's this going to go? I went to the theatre, and he flaps a lot.
Mhm.
But then he started doing something a bit different, and I've just not noticed it before. And he started rocking, really, 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 really rocking.
Mhm.
But he was happy. But I was a bit like, I stopped him from doing it, and I
Okay.
shouldn't have stopped him. I didn't stop him, but I just put my hand on his back. Are you all right? And he suddenly looked a bit jolted, a bit, I'm fine. And he stopped, and I felt awful afterwards because I should have just let him carry on doing that. Again, I was worried about what other people might have thought of him for rocking.
Mhm.
That was guilt. You always have, I think, parents, mothers, parents, carers,
The guilt
fathers,
is so
mothers.
intense.
Guilt constantly.
Mhm.
But I just, learning as well
Yeah, of course.
about, don't apologise for certain things.
No.
But that's me, and I need to work on that myself.
That piece is hard because, like, the right people, the kind people, the good people, whatever that is, they'll always be there for you, and they'll just, there's going to be no negativity there, so you wouldn't have to think twice about these things. But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this piece is like the protection that you feel as a mother and a parent.
Yeah.
Is you're like, in this social situation, what's the best thing I can do for my child?
Yeah.
And sometimes it is just letting it fly.
Yeah.
And other times you're just going to feel that kick in to protect.
Yeah.
And also, that's something we are all navigating all the time.
Yeah, but also you look at other children who aren't on the spectrum, and they're all different. We are all
of course
different. One autistic child to another. We're all different, totally different.
And this is what you were saying about you've come in with 2 more links. I have so many links to share and resources. But what are the 2? Can you share them with me with Chris Packham?
Oh my goodness. So I would advise. Definitely advise watching. There's two programs. Chris Packham, who is Asperger's, there's 3 documentaries, and it's covering 3 people who are autistic, and they're just so different. So I would recommend 2 people who've got friends who are autistic, friends of children who've got autism, anything. It's just a real eye opener. I mean, I had one of my husband's friends a couple of years ago. She said to me, I don't know anyone that's autistic at all. And I thought, that's interesting. And again, because of what I do, I've come across quite a lot of children who are autistic and things like that. So that's probably why I had a bit of a gut instinct with my son. But so I think these programs are so important. I would advise anybody to watch it. And another one was Paddy and Christine McGuinness, Our Family and Autism. And it was very emotional to watch. I definitely cried because it hit home. But it's just, again, a real eye-opener, what families go through. Yeah. And it's just awareness. And I think it's because everyone, can guarantee you in a work environment, you will come across people that are on the spectrum. And some people, I was talking to my husband about this a while back, about certain situations where he's come across people, and he's great. He just gets on with it. About people in the workplace, and some people might say, "Oh God, they're rude," or "They're a bit fixated on that. They're a bit, but." And they could be on the spectrum, or they like, "God, they hit the roof about this." How dare that go wrong? Because they're so in that zone, they can't see anything out of that zone. So I think it's just important to be aware of people, their feelings.
Of course.
When things do go a bit wrong, it might be all right for you, but for them, that's completely thrown them. It's like again with Chris Packham, the last documentary. about a guy with autism, and it was really interesting because his friends didn't know he was autistic, and they said, "Why are they not? Why did you not tell me? Why did you not tell me?" And he was saying about the little things. If he misses a bus, that's thrown him for the whole day. He is so it's just thrown him. Or if the football match is cancelled, that's going to completely throw him out of his day. So I just thought it was interesting for people just to have a bit more empathy and a bit of, okay, this is, I understand that's going to be upsetting for you actually, not being, all right, mate. You know, like, geez, he's a bit of a Fruit Loop. They're not Fruit Loops.
There's a reason.
There's a
and
reason.
Please try and understand, we're all feel it. You don't know how someone feels.
No.
And I think, to your point about, because of your job title, like what you do, you are exposed to more families and children and variety of needs.
Yeah.
And I was just telling you briefly, like, because like my best friend and I started babysitting when we were like 9-10 years old, and she reminds me that we would babysit these 3 kids under 6 maybe. We would take them to the park, we'd make their dinner, we'd bathe them, and we'd get them to bed when we were like 10 years old. It's crazy to me now, but we were really, really responsible kids. But from there I babysat like crazy. I started teaching piano. I saw a variation of needs, and because of teaching piano, it was 3 days in people's homes, 2 days in studio. But when you're in someone's home, you have a better chance of communication with the parents. You see a little bit more of the dynamic. You see a little bit more of their life. And I was, first of all, so appreciative when the parents wanted to be involved, and when they were, some of them would be very open about a child's individual needs. And it was so much, I think because then from there I went into teaching, and I've just always been with kids and teaching and coaching and all the things. And sometimes I think I take for granted, like, not everyone has that experience. So not everyone is aware even of a variation of needs, but haven't actually spent time in situations with families or with children to pick up on what they should do. Maybe they're going through starting a journey with their children, and they have zero idea where to turn, what resources are available. They don't know what to expect in a school setting. They don't know it, right?
Yeah, it's so hard. This is why it's important to, like Autism Bedfordshire, I've rung them recently about a certain situation, and they're fantastic.
Great.
I mean, so there are things out there. I've sent you a link with them. Early Concerns, which is a really good Padlet. It's really, really, there's lots of things on there about sleep, behaviour, where to go to for help. There's a local offer, which is really handy for certain situations with children being autistic, being what's going on in the area. Is it a bit quieter for them? And then there's Send Yes as well, which is also really helpful. And there's lots of links on that Padlet. But definitely Autism Bedfordshire is a really good one to go to for anything. I mean, again, I had a certain situation, and they just like, right, this is what we'd advise, this is what we should do. But again, with school, it's really important to speak to the SEN. Definitely speak to the SEN about certain things, because they can help guide. That's their job.
Have the communication network set up as best as you can.
Definitely. Communication, definitely. And that's key, without doubt. Key.
Well, I'm going to post all of these resources. It's incredible. You've literally compiled everything that people can...
Start. I think it's Short Start. I can't remember if I sent Short Start. That's a really good one. I've been signposting people to that. It's a mentor, basically, for parents. So it's run by people with children with autism. And it's just help and support.
Amazing.
Guidance. Giving a phone call to a parent. Oh, how's your week going? What challenges have you faced?
Just check in.
Basically. So that's another really good one.
My gosh, thank you so much. I feel like we spent like an hour talking before this, and we could spend another hour. But I'm just going to thank you so much for being here and just sharing, because this is, I know it's emotional, but it's just so valuable, I think, for connection. Like, mums are going to hear this and dads are going to hear this, and
it's out there, and people need to talk about it more.
Yeah.
They really do. You know, if you've got an inkling, look into it.
Yeah.
Definitely, and don't judge your child. You know, we're all different. But definitely, without doubt, if you think something is just a bit different, or you think something's not right at school, and you want your child to be supported in a certain way, speak to the school.
Yeah, and intuition is powerful, isn't it?
But also you need to remember as well, you know, sometimes they might not act up at school, and then they very, very different child when they come home.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, you've got to look at the pros and cons and that. If you see what I mean, at least they're not acting up at school, but you're all different. Yeah. You're all different, but don't give up and just talk to people. That's the most important thing, and to remember that we are all doing a good job. We are trying. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. So, Thank you for being here, Katie. Will you come on again?
Oh yeah, why not?
Okay. Thank you so much.
I could tell you could talk about this forever. You could definitely get like a parent with ADHD.
Okay. Yes.
Do it.
100%. You heard that. Hit me up.